Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome to the Fifi Mangaka channel. If you're new here, I'm Sam. I am working on my own webcomic called The Old Treehouse, and today we're going to talk about how I organized this monstrous, insane fantasy comic that I am working on. Now, if you're also working on a webcomic, particularly in the fantasy genre or just really any genre in general, you know that once the ideas start flowing and once you start working on it, it balloons. It becomes seismic. And what do you do with that? Where do you put all of that information? So you may have seen productivity YouTubers talking about this, but as a writer, as a storyteller, as a comic maker, you can also use Notion. I promise you, and I'm gonna show you how. So first, we're gonna do a quick overview of my personal Notion on how I organize my story, and then I'm gonna go down and break down each part that I think is particularly important for us comic creators, because the things that we need are different from the writers, are different from the productivity folks. It's just different. This is my homepage for my main story, Ye Olde Treehouse. So this is one Notion, you can call it, I guess, I don't want to say file, but this is just the top of the file tree for Ye Olde Treehouse. And each page will form sort of breadcrumbs, will take me to a different part within this entire structure. On the home page, there's a couple of widgets. You can have all kinds of different widgets that you can embed into a Notion page, which makes it very customizable. Mine is not too cluttered, but it has a lot of, yes, productivity things which help me out when I'm writing my stories. So as you can see on the left, we've got a clock here, and this is fully customizable. But more important than this clock, we've got a quick access section. And what this is it houses a few buttons that whenever I want to make a new character, a new chapter, a new outline for the next arc, I click this button and it automatically takes me to a template for that thing. More on that later. We've got a section for current progress. So this is a way for me to track exactly what I'm working at any given time. So yes, I'm working on this vid that you're watching right now. I'm also working on chapter 3 of my comic. On the left-hand side, this is kind of just a reminder, not that I need one, that my current overall project is Ye Olde Treehouse. So, you know, everything that I need under here in terms of completed chapters, I can just click this and it's right there for me. In the center, we've got Ye Olde Calendar. This is where I could put my due dates and things that I need done. So I'm planning on publishing chapter 3 on the 28th. I can just come in here and add a new due date for anything that I want, a chapter, a video, or what have you. You can also change the view to timeline view, which works more like a Kanban board or a sprint board. My engineering days are coming out. And another one of the widgets you can use are image widgets. And I just like to put various imagery from Ye Olde Treehouse on here just to kind of motivate me and remind me what I'm working on. As you can see, there are also to-do widgets. Very self-explanatory. We've got a Pomodoro widget, very important. Take breaks, my friends. More images, and then, you know, various sort of like sticky widgets that you can just add bullet points for different ideas and things that you come up with. One of my personal favorites is the link reference section. If you have references for drawings and you don't want to keep 50,000 Chrome tabs open and eat up all of your computer CPU, you can just go ahead and add the actual page and embed it into your Notion. And I've got a Google Doc here, which is for my casting call document. It could even embed Google Docs. How freaking amazing is that? So this is just the general overview. This is the page that I see at the highest part of the file tree for Ye Olde Treehouse. This is my home page. This is where I come and look at how much work I have to do. Okay, now let's jump into like comic creator specifics. One of the easiest things to look at first will be characters. So let's go ahead and look at the character section. So I'm just going to scroll down here. So the way that I organize my characters is I had a Notion that had a bunch, maybe like 30 or 40 of characters in a table in a very rudimentary, organized in a very rudimentary way. Obviously, that's not very effective. It's not very efficient. So here on my Notion, I can have a separate table, or a Notion, these are called database. I can have a database which houses all of my characters. And I generally only fill out characters that are currently in whatever chapter I'm on in my manga. So right now, all of these characters have made an appearance or will make an appearance very soon. So they're here. Now, the cool thing about this character customizing in Notion is you can use the template tool that Notion has to create templates for your character sheets. So if I come in here and click on Rue, who's one of the main characters of Ye Olde Treehouse, I can see, oops, click open. I can see a preview of this page. So you can either choose to open the full page or just show a little side view. So right now we're looking at a little side view. This can be filled with whatever you want. You can embed all sorts of things in here. Now, for us webcomic creators, we want to have an image of the character. We want to be able to see them. And then you can create tables to fill out all sorts of physical descriptions and personality things and whatnot, so you can keep it consistent. So as you can see, this table tool and then combining that with templates can help you build extremely organized ways to track all of your characters. Not only can you use like a table per character to put all of their details, but you could even give them roles. You could use the tagging system in Notion to, designate who's the main character, who's the secondary character, who's the protagonist, etc. So this is a really nice way to organize your characters. And if you've got a huge story like mine and you've got a lot of characters, at some point you may want to look at them just holistically, like, with a wide angle lens to see all of them in one place. So this is a lifesaver for me. So moving on from characters, let's look at how I organize chapters. So right away, you can see that we've got another one of those table database things, which I really like, which give us that wide holistic view of everything that's here. Not only can I organize for chapters, it's very particularly important to see what's in progress and what's done and whether or not it's been published on the platforms that you're publishing on. So the really cool thing about Notion is you can set all of this up. So I can select that chapter 1 and 2 have been published on Global Comics, and I'm working on chapter 3 right now. And you can see you can add tags to indicate where you are with each chapter, which is very, very nice. I'm a visual person and I love these icons. So I'm going to click on chapter 3 and it opens up chapter 3. So the way that Notion works is each page is kind of nestled within each other. And if you embed those pages in other pages, you can click into them and it will show you a nice little preview view of those. So I just clicked into chapter 3 and it's showing me everything that I have for chapter 3. It's showing me my summaries, my drafts, my dialogue, everything. Nicely there, I can quickly make edits, I can quickly look at it, etc. And as you can see, there's all sorts of properties here that you can customize and add. And this is very helpful to me because I know right away, okay, chapter 3 is arc 1. And you'd be surprised. You may say, well, shouldn't you know that? But when you're working with a pretty big story, sometimes the simple things escape you. I don't know how else to put it. So I organize my chapters in this way. And as time goes on and as this gets bigger, it's going to be really nice to be able to search and sort, through this table. As you can see here, there's a nice little search bar and I'm going to be able to quickly find what I need. So this is, just very nice, very organized for your monstrous story. Coming back down here again to details, we can go into the plot section. So again, we have like another one of these tables. As you can see, a lot of the formatting for Notion pages that I'm using are these table database structures because it's just much easier. Let's click into the plot overview. This template allows me to kind of put the general high level things that happen in my story in a way that I can just click and see. Now, if you're working on a large comic that has a lot of moving parts and a lot of plot elements, you want to make sure that you're not creating plot holes or, ass pulling, as they say. And you want to have a place that you can easily reference all of the things that you decided are law in your world or your story. So having your plots organized in this manner with a nice embedded page to come look at it has helped me tremendously. So going back to the homepage, those are all of the individual pages that I'm using to organize Ye Olde Treehouse and how I'm using them. Now, let me tell you the absolute amazing news about this Notion. This Notion is a template. Yes, it's a template. So I've customized it pretty heavily, but you can get this yourself. And I'm going to put the link in the description so that you can edit this template and make it work for you. Remove some things, add some things, whatever you need to get it to a place that helps you best organize your stuff. So check the link in the description for this template so that you can use it as well. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is how these quick access buttons work, how I use them. Now, let's say I have a new character that I want to add. I'm going to go ahead and click new character. This is so freaking cool. Let me show you. So I'm going to change character sheet. And yes, folks, my name is there. Pretend you don't see that. Okay. I'm going to delete this and we're just going to put Sam Fifi. Okay. Now this template is auto-populated for me. Everything is here. I don't have to do anything. Some of these table cells don't quite fit for my characters, or, you know, it's irrelevant for my character, so I can delete whatever I want. But the fact of the matter is that whenever I have a new idea for a character, this form auto-populates. And I cannot tell you how much of a life-saving tool this is for someone that has a chronic issue with creating characters. So, you know, if this alone isn't enough to convince you to use Notion, I don't know what is. It's just really nice to be able to click a button. Now, once I make this character, I made Sam Fifi. Now let's go look at Sam Fifi. I go to my character section here. I scroll down a little bit. Oh, Sam Fifi is right there. So my character now exists in my character table. I'm going to go ahead and designate a role for myself. I'm the main character, of course, and I'm in Ye Olde Treehouse. Would I want to be in the Ye Olde Treehouse world? I don't know. It's kind of dangerous. All right, and I'm an antagonist. Ooh, scary. Okay, so now everything is filled out. If I want to take a sneak peek, I can see my tags here and I can see the full page here. Now let's say I don't want Sam Fifi in Ye Olde Treehouse and I was just splurging at the moment. Just delete and it's gone. Very nice. The nice thing is you can also undo when you move things to trash too, because sometimes we make mistakes. So overall, that's a really high level of how I use Notion to organize my story, Ye Olde Treehouse. Now, before I conclude, I want to show you something hilarious. And that is my old Notion for Ye Olde Treehouse before I started using this template. As you can see here, everything is just one long list of stuff, which is already problem number one. So I click into story outlines, and again, it's one long list of stuff. I click into arc one long list of stuff. And the problem with this is it's not modular. It's not easy to navigate. I can't, quickly create things. I have to kind of scroll through all of this wall of text that I have written in order to get where I want to be in this Notion. So while this was working for me for a while, I started to realize that as my story grows and as I get further along with it, this is just not going to work. It's just not modular enough. So if this is you right now, you've got a lot of links and a lot of things to click through. And, if this is you, I hope this video convinced you how much headache you are removing from yourself to use Notion and to use it in the most effective way, which is using a template like the one I've linked below, which I did not make, by the way, so that you can really get the most out of your creativity and you're not spending all of your time scrolling through whatever doc you have to find certain things, or just making one giant run-on sentence. So if you've got any more Notion questions, or if you liked this video and you want an even deeper dive to everything on Notion, let me know. Let me know how you feel about this. I think that for webcomic creators, this sort of tool is imperative. Not only can we embed images and things onto this, which really helps, particularly if you're doing drafts and expression sheets and things like that, but widgets like the Pomodoro and calendars for publishing, this is all stuff that is incredibly helpful for webcomic creators. So don't think that Notion is just for productivity folks or writers. It's also for us webcomic writers and artists too. So until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye.